Let's say I'm a wait and see, but after that first batch goes out and I see 20, 30, 50 positive reviews go up, not only am I more comfortable
Mm.
with the idea of writing a review, I now realize that my experience of feeling well taken care of and confident actually is in the crowd. That's what everyone else feels like. I am correctly assessing what this experience is like. And so now I'm a little more comfortable sharing my experience.
Okay, so that is fascinating. I never thought of that either. But if I'm a client of a financial advisor and I've been nudged by the advisor that this is part of our process, we'd like to, any goodwill, how you feel about us, we'd love to see that. If I'm going to wait and see, and I start to see other clients telling stories and sharing that energy, that in and of itself could prompt me to say, you know what, I'm going to take action. That's actually quite fascinating. So it builds on itself. It just leads to an inflection point. Now, let's get into this a little bit further. What specifically does the automated process look like? Like, what's the entry point? Okay, I'm a client, you're my financial advisor. What's my first point of contact to be introduced to the concept of writing a review? And then take me through the incrementalism that might coincide with my stage of readiness. Is it going to be 5 drips, 10 drips? And what do those look like? I'd love to hear that.
So, two facets to the answer. One is we offer just a ton of flexibility. When we are talking through the platform with folks, we usually narrowly talk through the most common use cases. But the platform we have comes with experience of a decade of supporting healthcare systems with thousands of physicians and all of the unique asks and use cases that have come from that. But when you talk about 5 or 8 drips, we don't really want to become burdensome with the explicit review ask. So there's the very explicit initial ask, transparent again about why we're asking, what the ask is. And then when we go back to the flexibility, there's a couple of ways folks do this. One, as I mentioned, is whatever your cadence is of touch points with your client, we try and pick one that's natural and intuitive for when it would make sense to make an ask. But I'll tell you, there are other clients who introduce it initially and then have a link at the bottom of every one of their newsletters that says, if you would like to leave us a review, here's the opportunity. And so to touch on a point you made earlier, you could highlight a recent review that you've gotten in the newsletter and then follow that with the call to action that we would also love to hear from you, client, about your experience.
So never looking needy, never chasing, just respectful, gentle reminders about the concept.